Hello everyone and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix on the Sony PlayStation 3. I am on my sheep yet again, and today now folks, we are venturing on to the final world of the game. We are gonna take on Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and try and solve, well not solve, and just bring back the worlds from the destruction. Granted, in theory it doesn't make much sense. How can destroying all the Heartless bring back all the worlds that have been killed by the Heartless? It doesn't make sense, but either way, it's just move on into the final world and finish things off. Like I said, there's no more Disney left in this game apart from the Colosseum battles and 100 Acre Wood, which I'm taking on at a later time. So, without any further ado, disembark and be prepared for what awaits us. Hey, cool, Top Gun. Don't know what that trophy's for, but I'm happy I got it nonetheless.
Gorge, is that all that's left of the worlds taken by the Heartless?
Those worlds will be restored if we beat Ansem, right?
You betcha!
But if we do beat him, and all these worlds become restored and disconnected, what's gonna happen to this place? And to us?
Well,
This is a Heartless world, so maybe it'll just disappear.
huh?
But no worries. Even if this place goes poof, our hearts ain't going nowhere. I'm sure we'll find our pals again. Yep, I just know that we will. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I'll return this. I promise.
I don't think he ever does return that, but yes folks, this is it. This is the final world of the game. And all these islands you see floating about, we need to venture across to all of them. There is invisible walls throughout the entire place, and they're basically our way to point to the next area. As time goes on in this world, you're going to see giant orbs of darkness pop down from the sky, and whenever those orbs of darkness do pop down, you're going to be sent to a battle arena, Final Fantasy style, and you're going to have to fight a swarm of enemies. And yeah, for the most part, it's quite difficult a world. This is where the difficulty's ramping up. This is where the game's literally on its last legs. Now, these new Heartless by here are called Invisibles, and what they do is they go invisible from time to time, and while they're invisible, you can't hurt them, and they will start to surround one of the characters. Now, at the right time, you're meant to dodge out the way to avoid getting hit. The timing of dodging their attacks is very, very weird, so just be careful of them. But when they're in their visible form, just keep whacking them. They are very good at swordplay, so be careful because they can quite easily nip your health down. And the music in this world, oh my god, it's absolutely amazing. It's just this massive orchestral, I don't know, it just sounds amazing. This entire world's like a perfect end game. It gives you that sort of feeling of, this is the end, son, we're almost done. But like I said previously, well, I don't know if I actually said this previously, but the world's going to start throwing a lot of enemies towards us, and after every time we kill a swarm of enemies, we have the opportunity to go up to a chest area and kill, open up the chest that's next in the platforms we're going. But yeah, this is our best chance now to start level grinding, because enemies are going to start spawning at us. We're going to keep running into more and more enemies as time goes on. Sometimes these chests holds up. Some of these chests are actually monster in boxes, like this one for example, which will explode, and you have to fight a swarm of enemies again. And what I'm essentially doing for this part, folks, because there are so many battles and whatnot, I'm cutting the majority of them out, because otherwise it will absolutely drive you batty to watch. It drove me batty just playing them. Overall, though, it's a nice end game world. It gives me that feel of this is it, and I like it. I like it. Anyway, as the first of many behemoths you have to fight by here. Now, we fight like 3 to 4 of these guys during this world, so get used to seeing them. And they all have pretty much the same health as the original guy we fought at the end of Hollow Bastion, so just get used to seeing them. Because sometimes when you fight them, you for some reason it's this weird thing that when you fight enemies, you just basically have to stand still for a short amount of time until the screen will move back into this world. I have no idea why. But hey, there we go. It's just to equip our Omega Arts now, which we have yet to do for some reason. And as you can see, it gives our health points up quite a bit, and it gives us a higher defense, which means it's very useful to have Omega Arts on you. Now, like I said, just keep following the platforms. If you keep going through the platforms in a certain rhythm, you'll get to the next platform and open up the chest just fine, and there we go. And now the only fights I'm really going to show in this entire area of the game are basically fights against behemoths, because they're annoying. At least I think I show off the fights with the behemoths, I'm not sure. And just fights, I don't know actually, but just some fights I show off and some I don't. I think it depends really. Depends on what I was thinking when I was editing this. I don't know what I was thinking, it was ages ago. But of course, just keep going across to the nearest platforms that's close to you and you'll be able to get progress further. And that giant spherical orb of light thing that you see in the distance, that's basically our area we meant to go. If we go there, well, I'll enlighten you with some information. We'll move on to the next area. Yay. Now, I have to say though, this entire first segment of the level is the longest one, just because you get attacked by enemies all the time. It takes so long to do, so yeah, I think it took me quite a few quite a few minutes to get through this. Let's just say, like, I think this was originally like 30 minutes long, this entire area alone. So it goes to show how long the fights can take if you don't know what you're doing. Of course, now we get one of my favourite moves equipped, Counter Attack, which basically, if you block, you get the opportunity to hit the enemy back, and it's such a useful move. It's a shame we're getting it so far into the game where we're not going to really make much use out of it, because Counter Attack's really a move that I use mainly in the Riku boss fight that we fought earlier. But yay, time for another fight with, guess what? A behemoth. Yeah. Now, there are 3 behemoths, I believe, in the world, and, you know, in this actual world. These 2 that we fought in the first area, and there's going to be one that later on is going to sucker punch us quite a bit further down the line, and I don't like him. I do not like that behemoth. That's beside the point. Once this room is cleared though, this world's, well, actually if you take out all the fighting you have to do, this world's actually pretty short. But I love the art style. Look at this. It just, actually, the crystals on the walls and that remind me of the reminds me of Super Smash Bros. In the N64. Like the level where you have to fight Metal Mario. Huh. Either way, needless to say, if you don't know where to go, basically follow where I'm going here. You know the right way to go just because there's a save point right next to it. So go to the save point, save the game, blah 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 blah, and jump into the Hall of Light. Considering this is the world of darkness, you know which way to go because basically follow a light. That's all I can really say about it. It's not. That's it. I love this world though. I really do. And this by here is a grinding chamber, as I like to call it. This, folks, is where we're gonna have to go and well, grind our way across all these platforms. Basically, it's teleporters at the edge of the platforms, jump into the teleporter and send you to the next platform, go into the giant purple smog thing, smog cloud, to go to a battle arena where enemies will spawn. Take out all the enemies in the area. A lot of enemies spawn, by the way, in these areas. And this entire sequence by here is completely optional. You don't have to fight these guys, I just have to say now, but they're here if you want to get extra experience, and the extra experience can be used, well, to prepare yourself for the final boss. And in a way, I like the fact that the final area of the game gives you an optional grinding thing. But in a way, it kind of annoys me, because when you're first playing this game, you wouldn't know this area is optional. You wouldn't know you'd be able to just skip past all these fights. And it can be quite annoying. Of course, naturally, I decided to go and fight every single one of these, because why not? Of course, they are going to throw all the hardest enemies that you fought from each world at you now. All the enemies have been buffed up as well. So this is truly, literally like the last gauntlet of the game. This is where, yeah, boy with the key is going to rid the universe of darkness, kind of, except not really, because there's a sequel game, but that's beside the point. Anyway, these large bodies, and needless to say, just like I said before, you can just use your magic on them, you can use your block on them, just use the techniques you've been using throughout the game, and that's all. You should be able to get through these just fine. Because the enemies are buffed up and they throw so many of them at you, even these small fry enemies that we fought before can give you a bit of trouble. They can hurt your health down, like you see me use heal a couple of times in this fight. So just stay on your toes. Even though you're fighting enemies from previous stages, there's a high chance of you getting a lot of damage done to you, so that's all I can say about that. Of course, these soldier enemies, it's quite ironic that I was kind of mocking them at the start of the game because they were quite easy. But now they can really start whittling down your health, especially in great numbers, which is usually what they spawn in. You rarely fight one or two of them alone. It's always like 3 or 4 of these guys spawning in with you. Or at least some big enemies in with them, so... Enemies are annoying! Let's just say that. Of course, I don't know why I went to go to summon then. I think it's probably a wise thing I didn't, because that would have been a bit of a silly billy thing to do, wouldn't it? But of course, within each of these optional areas as well, once you beat every enemy, you have access to a treasure chest which will give you an item. Like that got me a synthesis item. Quite weird to give me one of them this late in the game, but you know, them's the breaks. Yeah, just continue moving forward through the world, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. When you reach this green bit by here, though, this is basically your save point. The green one will allow you to go to an area which we've never seen before. This beautiful place, folks, is a place we're going to see in a later part. But yeah, it gives you a mega elixir, which is so handy to have. Oh my god, you do not believe how handy those things are. And give you a nice save point, which you're gonna really want after playing this for as long as you have. Fun times ahead. Anyway, move on to the next area, and you see this giant flaming blast thing. Well, let's just jump into the fire, and we're about to fight... not a boss. We're going to a boss fight pretty soon, actually. We're gonna be fighting a load of bad guys in this room. Now, this hallway is one of my least favorite areas in this entire world, because there's not much room to traverse around. These invisibles will start pelting at you. Oh, I've died so many times in this hallway just because these invisibles are just like, haha, think you can beat us? Think you can make it over here? But if you're good enough, you can actually trap multiple of them into a corner, and if you can do that, you can perform like a massive combo that hits multiple of the enemies in one go. So yeah, try and do that as best you can. Make use of your gliding to try and get around to them, and make use of your high jump. And basically, try and be as athletic and as agilitied. Basically, use as much agility as you physically can to kill them. When all the enemies in this area have been taken out, well, you have access to this room where you can examine this machine. What is this machine? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, we're getting a bit of foreshadowing onto what Kingdom Hearts actually is. And basically, why we need 2 Keyblades. Like, earlier on in the cutscene, someone mentioned in an early cutscene that wasn't voiced. Thank you, game. Someone mentioned, we need both Keyblades of this world and a different world to lock the door. What's that mean? Well, we're going to be finding out way later on. We still got 7 parts to go, so, you know. Anyway, more invisibles, yay. I wish they include a bit more enemy types in this area now. Of course, my wish is going to be granted because there's another enemy type pretty soon in this game we're going to be fighting. But take out the invisibles, open up the chest, Bob's your uncle, and elixir, fantastic item. And these little portal of darkness here, I don't know what the point of them is. You can't really jump into them, so it's quite weird. But But of course, you can't really go anywhere except for the portal that we came in from. So let's just go in. And with that, folks, I'm going to call it a part here. So with that, thank you all for watching. Don't be sheepish, people. When we return next time, we'll be taking on a very special boss fight of this world. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!